witches, blessed be. This is WhiteRaven over here. Today is Monday, so happy Magic Monday to all of you guys. How are you, witches? Thank you for being here at the Witches Lair with me. I welcome to my coven if you are new. My name is WhiteRaven, and I am here to teach you witchcraft, what it is to be a witch from my perspective, because the map of the world is different for everybody. And today I have a great spell for you. And I hope from the bottom of my heart that this spell will reach you at the right time and that it serves you well. If all this is something that interests you, please make sure to stick around and subscribe to the channel. I will love to have you here, witch. Listen, witches, I read all of your emails, and the page and Facebook is growing really fast. So many new people in there. So it's only one of me, okay, witches? So be patient with me. I try to get to all of you guys. Comments, messages, emails. I really try. And one of you guys sent me this request, and it's something that I have done for somebody else before, somebody that I really love, precisely for this particular situation. How many times, witches, and how many of you guys, with all the goodness in your heart, you have opened the door of your house to a family member, to a good friend? You let them stay because they need your help. Nobody else wants to help them, but then you help them, and then everything becomes a nightmare. You have this new roommate in your house. It's maybe your nephew, maybe your brother, maybe a good friend, maybe a coworker. Who knows? You have this person in your house, and this person has created chaos in your home. Not only this person is extending his stay in your house. Maybe this person will tell you, hey, can you lend me a room for 2 days? Hey, can I please stay with you for a week or so? And now we're going on the freaking year, and the person's still there, eating all your food, using all your utilities, paying zero. And on top of that, is disrespectful to you. Maybe it's even aggressive to you. And now you're afraid, and you are afraid in your own home. No, witches. It happens. My good friend had to sleep with deadbolt in her room door at that level, witches. And I really hope none of you guys is in this particular situation, because it's nightmarish. So today I have a spell for you to get that person out of your house immediately. So before I go into the spell, I'm going to tell you this, because these are the questions that I'm going to get in the comments, which is, this is for when someone is living in your house. If the person is not living in your house, then you're going to need to create a doll, a puppet. And it's extremely important that you have tag looks from this person. A tag look is going to be hair, nail clippings, soiled underwear, this person's photograph, maybe something that the person has written down. The more you have, the better. Okay, and this is if the person does not live in your house. Let's say you have a house that you rent into someone, and these tenants are destroying your home, not paying your rent, and you need them out of that house. You are going to need, and I cannot stress this enough, a very powerful link to the person in order for this spell to work. All right, I hope I have that clear. Next, I am going to warn you right now, we are going to be using an Orisha. We are going to be using one of my most beloved Orishas. We are going to be using Eleguá. The spell that I'm going to share here with you today was inspired by another spell that I saw very long time ago, and I'm going to link in the description of the video. If you want to take a look at that spell, you can look at it as well. This particular spell, I'm going to do some adjustments for some of you guys, because I already know what you're going to ask me when I finish with this spell. The Orisha that we're going to be using is Eleguá. Now remember, witches, that Eleguá belongs to the Yoruba religion. And the Yoruba religion, which is Santeria, is a close religion, meaning that in order for you to practice Santeria, you have to be initiated in Santeria. Now, that is not to say that you cannot use or call upon the help of Eleguá to assist you in this issue and in this problem that you have. Having said all this, witches, the most important thing is that you treat this Orisha with a lot of respect. I have a few videos here in my channel telling you who Eleguá is, what he likes, and what he does not like. Now hear me out. Hear me out. Eleguá opens the doors for you, but Eleguá also closes the doors for you. So make sure that if you are doing this spell, you are 100% justified. Not only that, make sure that when Eleguá works for you, make sure you are grateful and you offer him some offerings. Before I proceed with this spell, I'm going to touch on some of the offerings that you can give to Eleguá. On Mondays, you can offer him rum. He loves candies. He loves cigarettes. And Eleguá has many avatars. One of his avatars is of a child. So Eleguá also likes toys. Again, which if he does for you, make sure that you do for him. So far so good, right? I hope you are following the instructions on this video. If you want this spell to work, make sure that you follow this step by step. Don't be inventing, don't be adding, don't be taking. I am going to give you different ways in which you can do this spell. Just make sure you follow through, witches. Now, let me tell you, how do you contact Eleguá? Eleguá lives by the front door in the floor. Okay, that's where he lives. That is his portal. That is his spot. That's where he's at. So if you are going to ask any favor from Eleguá, that is a good place for you to do it. There are different things that you can use to represent Eleguá. And one of those representations is this stone Eleguá. This one over here, I made myself some time ago. There's a video on this, and that video got a lot of people really upset with me because how dare me make these Eleguás. The video is out there. If you want to see it, you can see it. I treat Eleguá with my utmost respect. I do not play with this Orisha, or any Orishas for that matter. So if you have a cement head of Eleguá, you can use it. If you do not have that, and obviously you live with more people, including this evil tenant that you have, then maybe, perhaps, that is not a very good idea, because after all, you need to put this Eleguá behind your front door. Everybody and their mother in your house is going to see it. So if you do not have your cement head, you can also put a glass with water instead of the cement head. I hope that a glass with water is a little bit easier for you just to leave behind the front door. Another thing that you can use, witches, is a picture of Eleguá. This beautiful art I found in Wikipedia. I love this picture. If you do not feel comfortable working with this Orisha for whatever reason, you just don't feel comfortable, I highly suggest for you to use the glass with water. Otherwise, if you are into saints and you love your Catholic saints, every single Orisha is represented by a saint. In this particular saint, this saint, El Santo Niño de Atocha. And I'm going to put the name of the saint in the screen so you know which one he is. That is literally translated to Holy Infant of Atocha. Okay, next, which is what are we going to do for this spell? I already told you that you're going to need a representation of Eleguá, and I hope you have it clear now. For this spell, you're going to need just a very few things. The first thing that you're going to need, which is going to be salt, just simply salt. For this spell, witches, you're going to need a specific pepper, a guinea pepper, or grain of paradise pepper. Looks something like this, small pellets. If you do not have that pepper whatsoever, you cannot find it at all. Then you can use regular pepper. Make sure it's the pellets, not the ground pepper. You want the pellets. Another thing that we're going to use, which is going to be a white candle. In this particular case, I have a tea light. Just a little baby tea light. If you're one of my clients, if you have Eleguá oil, this Eleguá oil you can use. You're also going to need your mortar, witches. Okay. And last, you're going to need a piece of brown paper. Brown paper, which is paper like this from a bag, from a supermarket. Brown paper. All right. So without further ado, let me show you what I did with the salt, with the pepper, with the paper, with the candle, with the mortar. Enjoy. All right, witches, we're going to start this spell by putting a pan in the stove, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of regular salt. You can also use rock salt, whichever salt that you have at home. To that, you're going to add at least 1 tablespoon of grain of paradise. And remember, if you don't have grain of paradise pepper, you can use regular pepper. Just make sure is the pellets, not the powder pepper. Make sure that you mix it all really good in your pan, and what you're going to do, which you are going to toast the salt and the pepper together. This is going to take a few minutes, which is, it's going to smell amazing. However, you are going to be toasting pepper, so I strongly suggest that you keep your windows open, because the smell is going to be a little bit uncomfortable for your lungs and your nose. If you have small pets, I mean, if you can do this outside, do it outside. Otherwise, trust me, it smells really good, but the smell is very strong. I mean, you're going to be toasting pepper, so I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Make sure it's really toasty. Make sure it starts taking kind of like a brownish color. And once you reach that point, the little peppers are going to start jumping. And they're hot, so be careful. Once you think the salt and the pepper is ready, and you're going to be a little bit brown, make sure to cool this off, which is it's going to be very hot. Which is then very carefully put all that salt and pepper in your mortar. You're going to go to the front of, by your front door, and you're going to light the candle to Eleguá, and you are going to grind that pepper and the salt. And at the same time, which is really important, that you are focusing in what you want, and you have very clear in your head what is your intent. You need to tell Eleguá exactly what you want. You have to give him instructions. You have to let him know how you need his assistance. This is what you're going to do in front of your Eleguá. Which is, so now that you're satisfied with that conversation between you and Eleguá, your powder should look something like this. The next step, which is for you to grab that brown paper and make a little packet with the salt and the pepper. You are going to present this to Eleguá, and you want to make sure that you recite, "May him leave, may him leave, may him leave, and it is so, it is so, it is so." You're going to present this petition to Eleguá, and you're going to leave it there for 3 days. And remember, witches, that if you feel uncomfortable or you cannot use that cement head of Eleguá, you can use the same. You can do the same thing using the glass of water. That will also be a representation on Eleguá, and you can use it and talk to it just the same as if you were talking to the Orisha. Okay, witches, how is it so far? I hope you're understanding every step of these magical workings. Now, this is the hardest part for you, witches. Once you have your little bundle of pepper and salt, and you left this in front of Eleguá for 3 days, hear me out, because this is the part that's going to be a little bit complicated. But I know if there's a will, there's a way. So witches, I have faith in you. I know you can come out with something. But this powder, witches, is for you to put in your hand, and you want to blow this in the back of the person that you want out of your house. If you cannot do that, then you can just throw it in his back without the person, and I'm sorry I'm saying him, okay, the person, it doesn't matter, he, she, whatever, and everything in between. But let's say he's walking in the house and you are close by, just throw some of this powder in the back of this person. Now, when you are throwing this powder in the back of this person, you want to think this in your brain. Que se vaya, que se vaya, que se vaya. Así sea, así sea, así sea. This translates to, may him leave, may him leave, may him leave. And it is so, and it is so, and it is so. Feel it, witches. Feel it in your skin. Get it out of you and into what you're doing. Because that energy and the help of Eleguá is going to help you get rid of that evil person. Now, let's say you cannot do that. Say you cannot in any way, shape, or form put this powder on this person's back. Then I suggest for you to go into this person's room and toss some of this powder around his bed. Be discreet, witches. Don't put the whole thing in the bed. He's going to know what's up. Just make sure that you put some of this powder wherever it is that this person sleeps. And at the same time, make sure to repeat the words that I told you. Que se vaya, que se vaya, que se vaya. Así sea, así sea, así sea. If you want to say it in Spanish, go ahead and say it in Spanish. The last thing that I'm going to suggest, which is, and it's because I do understand this is going to be maybe difficult for some of you guys. If you cannot put an Eleguá behind the door in your house, then make sure that you copy one of the images of Eleguá, either El Santo Niño de Atocha or Eleguá itself. And in the privacy of your own room, get your little tea light. If you have Eleguá oil, put a little baby bit of Eleguá oil in your tea light, just like this. Light your candle up. And do your ritual in your room in front of Eleguá. Light your candle, tell Eleguá what you want. Tell him exactly what is it that you need him to help you with. Don't assume that he's going to read your mind, witches. Just make sure that you tell him what you want. He's there to assist you. Remember to do this for 3 days. Good luck, witches. My beautiful Eleguá. I love him so much, witches. He is fantastic. Is formidable. Make sure to do this spell starting on a Monday. Monday is his day. His colors are red and black. His number is number 3. This is why you're going to repeat the chant 3 times. And make sure to do your offerings to him. You can do cigarettes, you can do candy, you can do toys, you can do rum, or anything sweet. Thank you. And that's it, witches. Thank you so very much for being here with me yet one more Monday. If you like this video, please do not leave without subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every week, because it's really hard to survive here in all this universe of YouTube. Remember to visit me in Facebook at WhiteRaven and witcheslayer.com. And if you have any questions, you can email me at layerofthewitch@yahoo.com. Remember, I do not work for people. Last, witches, do not forget to visit my website, WhiteRaven and witcheslayer.com. I have a really nice blog on the 7 African powers, and one of the African powers is Eleguá. Go check that little blog. It's going to take you 2 minutes to read it. And last, I have beautiful products for you to purchase for all your magical endeavors. Witches, it is always awesome talking to you. Remember that it's imperative that you stay extremely smart, because knowledge is power. The more you know, the more power you acquire, and you comprehend and understand how your magic works. But above all, witches, with all the knowledge, don't just be a know-it-all and do nothing. Make sure to stay so very wicked. Bye.